Summer-like weather pattern for us this week, meaning very warm temperatures along with scattered showers and storms in the afternoons. And we could even see some severe weather tomorrow. I'll break down all the details coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 11, a man arrested in Richmond County after barricading himself in his home. The latest on the investigation. Also ahead, the city of Augusta searching for missing funds. Where things stand with a suspended city leader. And a push for a higher starting wage for teachers in Georgia. Details as your news at 11 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 11.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brad Means. Thanks for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins with a man in jail tonight after a standoff with Richmond County deputies. It happened this afternoon. Isabella Moody has more.
It happened on Wiley Drive, just off Mike Paget Highway, around 2:30 this afternoon. The Columbia County Sheriff's Office was looking for the suspect because of the warrants they had on him.
Something that, agencies do, they cross over into other jurisdictions. They notified us that they were going to be in the area, so and they were trying to pick him up for their warrants. Just so happened when they did find him, he was armed.
Investigators say after the crime suppression team was called in and saw 33-year-old Mason Meeks in the yard with a gun, they say he ran into his home. The SWAT team was called and evacuated nearby homes, observers, and businesses just to be safe. Negotiators were able to get two women out of the home before Meeks surrendered.
This incident went fairly quickly. We probably tried about 30-45 minutes to make contact. During that time, he just chose not to make any contact. However, while we were trying to make contact to reassure him that no one would get hurt and come outside, that's when the two females inside did come out.
Meeks was wanted on 1 felony warrant and 5 misdemeanor warrants. More charges are pending.
Eventually, he did come out unarmed and presented himself. He was taken into custody with no issues, and at that time, he was placed under custody and unfortunately, he's being transported to the Richmond County Detention Center.
We spoke to someone who lived a few houses down. He says he did not expect to walk out to something like this.
One of the other ladies told me that a guy barricaded himself in the house. I'm like, wow. I was just telling my friends the other day, you never know what's going to happen with people today. You got to expect the unexpected, but I didn't expect it down here, not with a bomb squad or anything.
In Augusta, Isabella Moody, WJBF News Channel 6.
And Sheriff Brantley made a point of saying he is grateful to Dick Smith Auto Sales for letting those who had to evacuate stay there at the dealership as a shelter until the area was safe. It is time now for our first check of the weather. We want to check in with our Chief Meteorologist, Jenna Petracci. Don't like those rain chances you're talking about?
Yeah, it's kind of good though, Brad, since we are in a drought.
We are?
So, yeah, we are.
Okay.
So, we kind of need the rain. But, of course, we don't want any strong to severe storm activity, and unfortunately that could be the case as we go into our Wednesday afternoon. But things are looking pretty good right now on Live Viper 6. We did have that one strong storm to the south of Emmanuel County. That is now dissipating, and the CSRA is expected to stay dry the rest of tonight. Things look good here in Aiken. This is our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam. Our almanac shows above average temperatures today. We were 4 degrees above average with a low of 56. And 6 degrees above average in the afternoon with a high of 86. Now, around the CSRA, our temperatures are now in the 60s and 70s, 65 in McCormick, 70 still in Barnwell, 66 in Louisville, Bamberg at 71, 67 in Gibson, and 64 in Saluda. Dew points are up to around 64 in some spots, and that means it's pretty muggy out there, and we'll continue to see some higher humidity as we go throughout the rest of the week. Winds are coming in from the southeast for some of us, but north for other places, and we do have this stalled frontal boundary just to the north of us, bringing the chance of the scattered showers and storms over the next couple of days. Now, for tomorrow morning, things will be dry. We'll have a good amount of cloud cover, and temperatures will get down to around the 60-degree mark. In the afternoon, we're going to see that rain chance increase to 60%. Same thing on Thursday. High temperatures will be staying warm in the 80s, lows pretty mild around 60. And then as we go into next week, we're still going to see warmer than normal temperatures. So coming up, I'll have a look at the full 10-day forecast. So stay with us, but back to you, Brad.
All right, Jenna, thanks. The South Carolina Senate voting to remove State Treasurer Curtis Loftus from office. So what happens next? Well, the motion goes to the House, and they're going to have to vote to remove him if it will take effect ever. The hearing came after a $1.8 billion accounting error. Loftus says it wasn't his mistake. If the House does vote to remove him, he would be the first elected leader ever removed from office in South Carolina.
He should be held responsible. I have been raising this red flag for over a year now to my colleagues in the House. They have failed to act on it, and I will continue to do so until he is held accountable.
I also heard the treasurer last night express contrition and express his regret that we are where we are, and I think that'll move a lot of people in the House.
The House has 3 weeks to vote on the matter. If that doesn't happen, it'll be tabled until January. More questions when it comes to the suspension of an Augusta department director. Hawthorne Welcher placed on leave after the commission approved to repay the federal government more than $6 million. George Escala has that.
It was a long legal session behind closed doors, but city leaders taking no new action on suspended Housing and Development Director Hawthorne Welcher.
I got to wait till we get all the information back from the audit, etc. And so we'll make a decision at that time.
Welcher was placed on leave earlier this month after commissioners approved reimbursing the federal government $6.5 million. The feds contacting the city back in November, saying that the federal rental assistance funds were not used and needed to be returned.
This is money that we're having to pay back, and it's not going to be just $6.5 million we're paying back. It's going to be, you know that, it's going to be more. And that money could be used elsewhere.
It's not a full $6.5 million that's missing. We do have the majority of that, but we do not have all of it. But a penny missing is a problem.
City leaders are waiting on the results of an audit before deciding the next step on Welcher. The timeline on getting the audit done still up in the air.
It depends. We have not yet had a response on how long it's going to take. Hopefully we should know that within the next 2 weeks.
How much is that going to cost?
We do not have the cost yet.
Was money stolen?
We don't know. We certainly hope not. I don't want to jump to that conclusion, but we will find out, and we'll get to the bottom of it. We'll hold people accountable.
And commissioners could be holding more legal sessions to come when it comes to the Housing and Development Department. In Augusta, George Escala, WJBF, News Channel 6.
A lot for commissioners to look at there. We'll keep you posted. The Georgia Association of Educators already looking at next year and hoping for a stipend for student teachers as they prepare to work to become full-time educators. You know, the National Board for Certified Counselors says there should be one counselor for every 250 students. In Georgia, sometimes it's one for every 750. The president of Georgia's Association of Educators says next year's state budget must include money for counselors and social workers and psychologists, people who can help kids cope with mental health challenges.
While the budget does include an increase in the funding for school psychologists, it is still at least 4 times the recommended ratio of students to school psychologists that is recommended, and we also have over double the ratio of students per counselor and school social worker.
Other goals include reducing class sizes, giving teachers more planning time, and increasing beginner teacher pay. Georgia State Superintendent recognizing a local elementary school for the second straight year. Richard Woods in the area to honor Mildred E. Freeman Elementary as a state literacy leader. The Georgia Education Department started this award a couple of years ago. It highlights schools with outstanding achievement or growth in reading. Woods crediting school leaders for handling all the challenges that come with education in a rural area.
You don't necessarily have all the resources and funding that perhaps a larger district would have, but also we live in a very impoverished area. This is what we call a Title I school. And so that is, kind of another, barrier to overcome. But what we're showing is that with the right work, the right emphasis, the right teachers in front of our kids, and the support, anything is possible.
These results coming in as principal Jessica Nicholson marks just her second year at the school. Way to go. Coming up, summer is inching closer. We'll tell you how you can stay safe on the water after the forecast from Jenna.
And speaking of summer, it's going to be feeling like that the rest of this week with highs well above average and some summertime storms headed our way. And it's also Earth Day, and coming up after after this break, I'll have a look at some of your viewer photos sent in of the prettiest places you've been to on our planet Earth. Stay with us.
All right, so let's begin. Only on News Nation. News for all Americans. That's just the truth.
The Live 5 for 6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live 5 for 6.
Welcome back. So happy Earth Day. Here are some of the photos that you all sent in from some of the prettiest places you've ever been to. And we got a good variety here. A lot of photos sent in from Hawaii, but we also have Ireland and the Bahamas, some places further away like Croatia, and then some places closer to home like Lake Greenwood. But no matter near or far, all of these places are gorgeous, and I appreciate you sharing your photos with us. Now, we did have some rain today for the first time in 10 days, and that was up in our northwestern portion of the CSRA. Just trace amounts for the most part, some places up to around 1/10 of an inch, but it's dry here over at Washington Road. This is our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam. We're sitting mild in the mid-60s. Winds are calm, dew points in the lower 60s, and around the CSRA, cooler towards the north, warmer to the south. Waynesboro, Barnwell, Bamberg still at 70 degrees, 72 in Sylvania, 73 in Allendale. And as for our satellite and radar, a few stray showers just to our north, and then we had a couple lightning strikes to our south. But I'm expecting things to stay dry for us the rest of tonight. Scattered showers and storms still happening out to the west of us, all due to this stalled frontal boundary, and high pressure to our north is keeping all the heat in place. So it's going to continue to stay well above average when it comes to our temperatures, up to 84 tomorrow, with a higher chance of rain and storms for both our Wednesday and Thursday, which this is good news overall. Notice so far for the month of April, we've only picked up around 1.5 inches of rain, when typically we end the month with over 4 inches. Now, as we go into the weekend, it won't be a complete washout, but you'll want to keep the rain gear handy for any outdoor plans. Unfortunately, with the chance of rain, we do have the chance of storms as well. Tomorrow, there is a marginal risk of severe weather for the majority of the CSRA, and you can see here on our futurecast, starting at 10 a.m., that's when we could see a shower or two pop up around the metro, and then once we get the heating of the day in the afternoon, these storms will really start to fire up, and we'll also have some more widespread rain south of I-20. Now, we'll have to watch the cells that look like that down there towards Screven County. That's where we could be seeing some gusty wind potential, some small hail, and of course the frequent lightning and heavy rain. Now, by 9 o'clock, things are starting to look a little bit better. We're going to be dry overnight into our Thursday morning. Other than a few stray showers Thursday, things look good for the first half of the day, but once we get towards the evening, more storms coming in from the west, and this will be our best chance of some widespread rain. And luckily, it looks to be coming in late at night into the overnight hours of Friday, but by the time you're headed out the door Friday morning, we're pretty much drying out again. Now, just like with the typical summertime pattern, it's very hard to pinpoint the rainfall chances. Some of us getting only up to around 1/4 of an inch, while other places will get maybe even up to 3 inches. So it's going to be very spotty. But you can see here, all of us will continue to have those warm temperatures all the way up to 87 on Saturday, and above average temperatures will continue into the start of May. Now, that 10-day forecast is showing the temperatures in the low to mid-80s over the next 10 days to come. We're going to see lows around 60 for now, some 50s next week, and we're starting next week out nice and sunny again. Monday and Tuesday look good, but the rest of this week we have a rain chance every single day.
Sure do. All right, Jenna, thanks. Summer is almost here, of course. That means time to head out on the water for many of you, but if you're not careful, it can be a really dangerous place. Hundreds of accidents happen every year in Georgia and South Carolina, many involving boats and jet skis.
Anytime alcohol is involved with recreation and water, it creates a dangerous situation. So we recommend that you never mix alcohol and water together. While you are out here on the water, or on land, we always recommend that you do have a PFD readily available, or that you are wearing one.
If you're out on the water and ever find yourself in an unsafe situation, things getting unmanageable, just call 911 and get somebody out there to help you. Still ahead, funeral plans for the Pope. We'll have details as coverage you can count on continues. But first, the winning numbers for tonight's South Carolina Lottery. Pick 3019. Pick 4 tonight, 4951. The fireball was 9.
Right now, is rainy weather putting a damper on your day? Enter to win your very own Live 5 for 6 umbrella today. Visit WJBF.com and click on Contest. Then fill out the entry form for your chance to win.
Getting your hands on a live Viper 6 umbrella has never been easier.
That's right. Lucky winners will be announced weekdays on News Channel 6 at 6.
Who knows? It could be you.
Sponsored by Busby's Heating and Air. When quality matters, call Busby's. Trusted since 1945.
Hi, I'm Mary Morrison.
Pinnacle Bank and the Mike Costello Law Firm. The WJBF Live Viper 6 Skyview Network is sponsored by Terry Lampert Hyundai. Low prices, big selection, and committed to quality customer service. Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
The Harlem Bulldogs held their final signing of the school year, featuring 5 student athletes, 3 football players, 1 wrestler, and flag football. Football players Baylor Davis, Ronald Oliver, and Taylor Hart all signed to play at Erskine College. The football team coming off a successful 10-2 season, plus a region title. Meanwhile, wrestler Nate Lowe will be taking his talents to Colorado at Northeastern College. Nia Stewart will be playing flag football at Ferrum College, the team's first ever flag football signee. The students are all excited for the opportunity at the next level.
When I went up there, it felt like a very homey environment, like Harlem was, and it felt good with me. Well, the community around here is amazing. They support us in every way, win, lose, or whatever. And the coaches are great. Teachers are great. I was lifting at a young age. I was playing Pop Warner and Thompson at a young age, and I started very young. I started at like 7 years old. Multiple reps, gotten stronger, and got in the gym, multiple reps, and just, getting out there, win or lose, you get better.
One of my track coaches recruited me to go and join the flag football team, so I tried it out, and it was really fun.
And the Harlem baseball team finished out their regular season a perfect 29-0. They now have set their sights on the first round of the state tournament, vying for that coveted three-peat. Now, in the month of April, the Harlem baseball team averaged 9 runs per game. They also had 3 shutout wins. Now their sole focus is on the playoffs, practicing 3 to 4 hours a day. Now, while the three-peat is still in the back of their minds, the current mindset is staying focused on their opponent come Friday.
To be 29-0, it's kind of shocking. I would have never thought of that, because winning a lot of games in a row in baseball is pretty tough. But they played well. They've worked hard. Got a series coming Friday, and if we want to continue on, we've got to win that. So we can't worry about anything else other than trying to beat Mount Zion twice and go from there.
The Greenbrier girls soccer team opened up state tournament play, hosting the Rome Wolves. The 13-2 Wolfpack were coming into this match riding a 6-game winning streak, with their offense scoring 25 goals this month. Now, the offense showed up again in the fourth quarter. Wolfpack up 5-0. Maddie Grover with the corner kick, and Ariana Boone right there for the goal. That sealed the deal. They beat Rome 6-1, moving on to the second round of the state tournament.
Belief and trust. I asked them to do a lot. In the beginning, it's uncomfortable, but it's getting them comfortable in those uncomfortable situations in the game. They know what it takes. They know what they got to do to get to the next level. I mean, 3 years ago, we went to state, and it's one of those that sits in the back of our mind. We know how to get there. We got to get back, but it's just getting the little things ironed out before we get, look too far ahead. So it's just one match at a time.
Up next, the Wolfpack host Jackson County on Tuesday. And the Academy of Richmond County's esports team Musketeer Strike claimed the Eastern Region Street Fighter 6 Championship. They pulled off a 3-0 sweep against the 6th-ranked Paul Public Charter School in Washington, D.C. They started out as number 25 playoff seed, jumping to all the way to number 1 in the region. That's it for sports. We'll be right back.
Danny. See me after class. Okay, so, Jennifer?
Danny, I sent this notice from school. We need to talk. This is important. Call me.
Danny, we love. Danny, Danny!
Microdosing.
When no one else knows what to do, it's gotta be you. Carry naloxone. You can save a life.
Itching for a good time? Your choice. Get your tickets and more online. FallsHotCookoff.com. May 9th to 10th. Rain or shine. Waynesboro has fun, y'all.
At WJBF's Television Park Productions, our mission is to provide local businesses with top quality video and digital content at an affordable price. With decades of experience, our award-winning creative team will guide you step by step through the creative process, resulting in a successful marketing message for your brand. Over the years, we've helped hundreds of local businesses expand their voice. Visit WJBF.com/creative to find out how we can do the same for you. The CSRA is full of amazing women. Women who inspire. Women who innovate. Women who lead. That's why News Channel 6 brings you Women to Watch.
On the last Wednesday of each month, News Channel 6 recognizes local businesswomen who are making a positive impact in our community.
Nominate someone today at WJBF.com. Sponsored by Goodwill.
Tomorrow and Thursday, we could see some strong to severe storms, but overall, some beneficial rain for the first time in around 10 days. Temperatures staying warm in the 80s, lows near 60. Rain chances going down a bit this weekend, and we're drying out with sunshine early next week.
There is a place in New York called Night Owl Video that opened this month, the only video rental place in New York with more than 1,500 titles. Some go back decades. Some of the videos are new. Others secondhand. Rentals run, well, as cheap as $5 for rare old VHS copies, though. Can run you $100 a night. Some of these movies on the video cassettes and tapes aren't available on streaming services. And how about this? If you wondered about demand for those old school videos this month when the store opened, more than 500 people showed up.
Wow, not surprised. I mean, people love going to stores like that.
Yeah, they do. If you hold on to your VCR, your Blu-ray, or whatever, you can enjoy the oldies. That is our report for now. Have a great night.